There are two questions that every human being on Earth asks themselves at least once in their lifetime. What is the meaning of life, and should I quit League? And quitting League can sound quite tempting for a lot of people. Never have to tilt over bad teammates or trolls, never have to play against that champion that you just hate, never have to lose another game. The meme at this point is people saying that I quit League and instantly got a girlfriend and became a Giga Chad millionaire. If you don't have to deal with all the things that you hate about playing League, then that sounds pretty good, right? So why not quit? The problem is that's only a small fraction of the picture of everything that League has to offer. That being said, many people who play League only ever see this small portion. League to these people is filled with negative memories and experiences. And if that's all that League is to you, then I wonder why you haven't already stopped playing. The answer is that you're probably addicted in some way, but that's a topic for another time. People like this that have a very toxic relationship with the game really need to address it. A lot of times, I would hear things from people that I knew who played League for a long time that they stopped playing for a week or even a day and they just felt better about themselves. They spent more time doing more fulfilling things, and the anger and frustration they felt when playing League wasn't there anymore. Seems like a pretty obvious choice to quit then, right? But when I had stopped playing League for whatever reason, I didn't feel this way. I felt less productive and less good about myself. People thought I was crazy when I would tell them this, but I truly meant it. In a world where it feels like everyone who plays League and even everyone who doesn't thinks it's some hyper toxic video game that is just a waste of time, I just couldn't feel the same way. I wondered why it was so much different for me, why I felt worse when I didn't play League. And that answer came to me fairly clearly. League gave me a clear and tangible goal and purpose. At that time in my life, I didn't really have much to worry about without many responsibilities. League gave me a North Star. I knew that no matter what was happening that day, I could wake up with excitement and try to get better at the game that I love. I'm sure many of us have felt what it's like to be looking forward to something. You get excited thinking about it as you go to bed, and when you wake up, you don't have to fight yourself out of bed because you're too excited to get to doing the thing that you're looking forward to. For me, I felt that nearly every day for weeks and even months when I finally realized how much there was to learn and truly began to believe in myself that I can improve and reach my goals that I had in League. I would find myself wanting to go to sleep earlier just so I could wake up earlier and get to play sooner. That period had so much joy for me that I really just can't explain. But why do most people not see League the same way? Why do they only see such a small part of the picture? Well, part of it's because the culture built up around the game. There are top streamers and content creators and high elo players and friends who all feed into the idea that League sucks. I'm not sure if people think it's cool to just hate on the game that they play so much, but I really don't see that appeal. Every time I watch content that shows someone complaining about the game without good reason, it honestly just makes me cringe a little and I instantly have to move on to something else. Many of these people have fed bad narratives like blaming teammates and complaining about the game balance and just saying that League is bad in general to their audience, and that influence has had an incredibly bad impact on the community as a whole. Fortunately though, it really seems like people are starting to get it. More and more high elo players are spreading the message of removing these narratives and really focusing on your personal improvement. I mean, just listen to how Faker talks about the game after winning Worlds 2023.
이번 월즈에서는 저는 좀 개인적으로 궁금했어요. 이제 승패에 신경 쓰지 않고 그런 과정에 집중했을 때 어떤 경기력이 나올지 개인적으로 좀 궁금했었는데, 일단 그런 승패를 신경 쓰지 않고 좀 과정에 집중하는 것을 목표로 삼았을 때 일단 이번 월즈를 통해서 굉장히 또 많은 것들을 배울 수 있었다고 느꼈고, 그리고 사실 이렇게 또 경기할 수 있다는 것 자체가 굉장히 감사하게 느껴지고, 그리고 경기에만 몰두하게 됨으로써 좀 경기력도 굉장히 좋아졌다고 생각하고요.
Do you ever think that Faker talks about League like a chore he doesn't want to do or a game he thinks is bad? He cares about the opportunity he has to play the game and express his best self through it. But we can't just put all of the blame on other people for our bad relationship with the game. We are in full control of our thoughts and our views. That being said, most people don't want to change their perspective. Unfortunately, many people think it's cool to hate what they do. Forever and all eternity, we will have people who complain about work and school and life and all of the shit in it. Complaining and blaming is so easy. It's almost like it's the same reason that people don't climb. It makes you feel good, it makes you feel like it's not your fault, and it justifies your negative emotions. Sure, you can complain and be miserable all you want, but I'll be here not complaining and putting my attention and efforts towards the things that will get me results, and I'm going to be happier for it. Seeing the good in situations is a choice. Sajam, who I don't know a lot about besides the fact that he's a fighting game commentator and streamer, made an excellent video that I think really gets across this point.
So I would be like, hey, here's some stuff you can do against Soul, and people were furious. that you would even suggest trying to learn how to beat the character. How dare you try to give me answers? I just want to be mad. They completely write off any of the weaknesses of the character that exist just because the character is strong. It's a general video game problem, right? Like most of the places you go, how often are people like, the game I'm currently playing is dope versus the game I'm currently playing is bad and the people who made it are bad. I talk about the cool parts about fighting games, right? Because that's the part I think is cool. If you're nice about the game, it's seen as not real. But like the answer is like, you're just miserable and I'm not. Like I'm just chilling.
The full video is absolutely great, so I recommend that you check it out. It'll be linked in the description. But this video shows us that it's not just League that this happens to as well. Many competitive video games have this issue, and the problem always seems to be from people complaining about what's outside their control. We can choose to play the victim and wallow in our own self-pity, or we can choose to get to work and figure out how we can overcome those challenges. You get to decide what kind of person you want to be. This isn't some new story with video games either. Life is full of things we can't control. We don't choose when or where we're born. We don't choose our parents or our family. We don't get to choose how people will treat us or how good our teachers are, and the list goes on forever. But it is our focus on the externals that kills us. We have all had that experience where we really don't want to do something, and we're just preying on an excuse to pop up so we don't have to do it. It's like when you're a kid in school and you really don't want to go, so you hope that you get sick, or you might even pretend that you are just to get out of it. I think the reality is that a lot of people want to achieve great things, but not a lot of people want to put in the hard work to do it. A lot of people are just preying on an excuse to blame as to why it's not their fault that they couldn't reach their goals. There are people who achieve things, and there are people who talk about why they can't. It's a miserable life to live when we let our emotions be dictated by the things that are outside of our control. I can tell you from experience that when you pay no attention to these external factors and only care about that which we do control, it's like you're getting released from a box that you were trapped in. You don't feel like you're being constrained by your circumstances, and your options seem limitless. It's your choice. Feel constrained or feel limitless. So I never really answered the question directly of, should you quit League? Well, if I'm honest, I'm not really here to make that decision for you. What I am here to tell you is that a lot of people miss the mark when it comes to understanding what League truly has to offer. It can be one of the most rewarding experiences ever. The fact that we have the opportunity to be within the comfort of our own home and compete against other players for our same skill within minutes of turning on our computer and queuing up is incredible. The fact that we have an environment that mirrors real life and allows us to learn about ourselves isn't something we should take for granted. We can continue to challenge ourselves and improve all while having fun in the process, but that's only if you decide to. I love League because it has given me so much confidence and taught me so much, but there are worlds where I didn't see the potential of League and it just became another toxic waste of time. This isn't to say that everyone should be playing League and adopting it as their main pursuit or even as a side hobby, because that's not the case at all. If you don't like playing League because of the type of game it is, then don't play it. If you think your efforts are best spent pursuing some other goal or passion you have, then go do that, of course. I wouldn't encourage you to do anything else. League can always just be a side hobby or a game that you come back to that allows you a competitive outlet. But if you just hate League because you let the externals get to you, quitting isn't going to help. Near every goal that's worth pursuing will have challenges and things outside of your control that you have to overcome. And if you have the wrong mindset for overcoming these challenges, then nothing will change if you stop playing League. Thanks everyone for watching. If you made it all the way to the end of the video, big shout out to you. I really appreciate the support. I just want to give a quick announcement that I will be streaming live on my YouTube channel right after this video goes out. So make sure to head over there. You can ask me questions, hang out, and watch some Hyrule solo queue gameplay. And if you missed me this time, no worries. I'll be streaming a whole lot more. So make sure to stay tuned for that. Hope to see you there.